Let's talk about censorship and how wrong it is for government officials to use their position to censor the free speech of others. That's a common rallying cry these days amongst conservatives, although most often they aren't talking about government overreach. Usually they're talking about the overreach of social media companies like Facebook, which they think are biased against conservatives. So hell, let's talk about that too. Specifically, let's talk about how Facebook has censored actual doctors from trying to combat misinformation by delivering science-based explanations about abortion. And let's talk about how Facebook took that action to please politicians like human colostomy bag Ted Cruz. Last week, the anti-abortion group Live Action, which is headed up by Lila Rose, posted a video to Facebook claiming that abortion is never medically necessary to save the life of a pregnant woman. That's just a straight up lie. And what's insane to me is that this particular lie has been a staple of anti-abortion dialogue for years now. Back in 2012, for instance, Joe Walsh, yes, that Joe Walsh, the one saying that he's the one that's going to get Trump out of office, said in a debate with Tammy Duckworth that thanks to modern technology and science, there were 0 instances of abortion being used to save the life of the mother. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists immediately replied, saying more than 600 women die each year from pregnancy and childbirth-related reasons right here in the U.S. In fact, many more women would die each year if they did not have access to abortion to protect their health or to save their lives. That more than 600 figure is actually probably a serious lowball, with other studies, like one from the CDC, finding that about double that amount of women die each year from pregnancy-related conditions. 64,000 women every year suffer ectopic pregnancies, where the fetus grows outside the uterus, which is just one example of a condition that would lead to the mother's death if abortion were not an option, since neither the mother nor the fetus can survive it. Other conditions that can threaten the life of the mother before the fetus is able to survive outside the uterus include severe infections, high blood pressure leading to stroke, and heart conditions. Even when the fetus has developed to the point of viability where it can survive outside of the womb, sometimes it's just not possible to do a live birth when the mother's life is threatened. Following the Walsh comment in 2012, USA Today spoke with a writer named Cecily Kellogg, who was 6 months pregnant with twins when she developed severe preeclampsia, which is high blood pressure, and one of her twins died. Then, she said, my liver had shut down, my kidneys had shut down, and they were expecting me to start seizing at any minute. The doctor said they had to quickly dilate her cervix and perform an abortion to save her. I fought it, she says, but they told me I would die and that it was either me and my son or just my son. It's rare, but unfortunately it happens, and denying that it happens is just a cheap way for anti-abortion activists to push their agenda, tricking people into thinking that abortion is not healthcare. It is. It's healthcare when it's used to save the life of the mother, just as it's healthcare when it's used to help a woman continue her life as it is, and to prevent a child from being born into a world that doesn't want it and cannot raise it. So Live Action has resurrected and repeated this stupid lie that even Joe Walsh eventually had to admit was a lie back in 2012 by posting a video about it on Facebook. Facebook has made some weak efforts at stopping the proliferation of fake news on their platform, which, in the past has led to things like Donald Trump being elected. And now they have some actual humans fact-checking posts. In this case, they had some doctors who saw the Live Action video make their own video countering those lies with actual facts about abortions that are used to save the lives of women. A link to their video showed up alongside the Live Action video whenever anyone posted it. Live Action received notice that their video was found to be false, and this had happened so often, they'd post so much fake news that therefore their posts would no longer reach as many people on Facebook in order to curb the proliferation of lies. That was censorship, according to the right wing. So 4 male politicians wrote Facebook a letter. Ted Cruz, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri, Senator Kevin Cramer of North Dakota, and Senator Mike Braun of Indiana told Facebook that, quote, no reasonable person would describe Grossman or Schickler, the doctors who fact-checked the video, as neutral or objective when it comes to the issue of abortion. And why? Because they're doctors who provide abortions and care about women's health. One is on the board of NARAL, Pro-Choice America. The other is a fellow with the Physicians for Reproductive Health. That's right, that classic bunch of extremists, Physicians for Reproductive Health. How dare they care about reproductive health, the area in which they spent decades training? In other words, reality has a liberal bias, and the far right are very angry about it. Honestly, it shouldn't matter if the fact checkers in question run a Tumblr called Fuck Forced Birthers. What matters is the actual facts they provided. Are they correct? Great. Done. If I make a video saying that 100% of all abortions are performed to save the life of a mother, and Facebook has Lila Rose fact check that, and she counters with, no, only about 3% of abortions are performed to save the life of the mother, then guess what? She'd be right, even if she is my ideological enemy. And her fact check would actually deserve to sit right next to my outright lie. Unfortunately, Facebook gonna Facebook. So instead of telling Ted Cruz and his posse of pussy haters to just go get fucked, they removed the doctor's fact check while they investigate, leaving the live action video full of lies, active and able to be spread all over the place. Even if they eventually realize that the doctors are correct and they put that fact check back up, it'll have been too late. The news cycle will have already moved on. Thousands of people will have already seen this and believed an obvious lie that has in the past and will continue to endanger the lives of women. Another huge win for Facebook. Good job, guys.